Moving towards service plans. What's happening? It is Erik J. Olson. One of the things that has been bothering me about the way that we have been selling our digital marketing is that it's very complex, and we've made it overly complex. Now, I started to realize this maybe about 6 months ago, and then about 4 months ago, we started to have sales training with the Cardone University, and just from being in that pitch where the Cardone University salesperson pitched me and Kevin, I started to learn a better way of selling just from being sold. And what I learned was that you have to simplify the way that you present your offering and your product, and especially your pricing. Now, one of the things that we used to do is we would give an hour and a half long dissertation on why someone's existing digital marketing was all screwed up and they needed to hire us. Then we would have a follow-on meeting to tell them what that price was going to be to hire us. And then we would have another follow-on meeting to ask if they wanted to do it. When we got pitched by Cardone, there was, oh, and by the way, the old way of doing it was upwards of a 100-page or 100 slide deck. Imagine preparing a 100-page slide deck. Now, all of those weren't like customized for that prospect, but maybe 20 of them were, 30 of them were. It's a lot of work. This would take hours to prepare and hours to present. It is so time consuming. When I got pitched by Cardone for sales training, their pitch deck was 6 slides long. And guess what? Pricing started on slide number 2 and was on every slide until the end. And I thought, wow, that is really interesting. But guess what? That's exactly what I wanted to find out. Is this going to cost me $100 a month or $100,000 a month? I needed to know that right away, because if it was $100,000, I'm out. I'm not interested, right? I cannot afford that. We're not doing that. But if it's $100, well, even if it was $100, I probably wouldn't be interested. Not enough. They came into the sweet spot. It was the right price for me. I was surprised, and I was ready to listen for more and to get the details at that point. But I had to get that answered. I was not willing to sit through a 3-day long presentation about how shitty our sales process is, and that we should hire them, how great theirs is, and then find out the price. Get it to me quick. By the way, what we're doing at this point is we're creating plans, service plans, so that we can quickly present what it's going to cost to someone. So in the past, we would do things like say, all right, you can get a website, depends on how many pages is the price. Do you want this feature of the website or not? SEO, there's all these different ways to buy it. Advertising, all these different tactics you could apply. Is it Google? Is it Facebook? Is it Instagram? Is it Twitter? Is it LinkedIn? It was just complicated. Now we have is a plan. We have 3 plans. We got down at Array Law to 3 plans with predetermined price points and predetermined services. And now we're going to say on slide 2, just like Cardone did on slide 2, here are the plans and here's the pricing. And then on the subsequent slides, by the way, there's only 6. Imagine that. We got ours down to 6. We're going to explain why we're the best fit for them, show testimonials, show the process, and show the next step. The slide deck itself is so simple now, there's no personalization. None. There's not even personalization in the contract. You check the checkbox for what plan you want. It's so simple, anybody could do it. And actually, what we're thinking about doing is allowing any employee to sell, and they'll get commission. We need to flesh out some details there. So if an Array Digital employee is listening right now, it's probably coming, but I don't have the details yet. I still got to think through that one. So as long as you can present these plans to a prospect and then convince them that it's a good solution for their problem, you can sign them up. Just put a contract in front of them, check one checkbox, and ask them to sign. It's that simple. So we are very quickly moving to service plans. By the way, it solves a whole bunch of other problems that we've had to deal with over time. I'm super excited about it. I want to make this thing just So simple that anybody can pitch it. Not any personalizations, not any customizations. You get the plan. But by the way, we are going to have a la carte items. So there will be a personalization aspect on top of the predetermined plan. Now, think about this. You may think that's crazy. You can't do that. No one does that. Really? All right. Let's consider a couple of examples of things that you're aware of, products and offerings that do this. I went to a Mexican restaurant recently. There were 10 pages of packages. What are those? Dishes, all their pre-packaged menu items. I could buy one of those, or I could search from the half page of a la carte items on the back of the menu. They clearly want me to buy a package, a plate that they've already pre-assembled with a predetermined price. That's what I'm talking about, right? I could personalize if I want, but I don't need to. I'm going to start with a package. How about when you buy a car? When you buy a car, you're very likely to buy the predetermined package that the dealership has ordered from the manufacturer based on what most people want most of the time. But if you really want to, you can customize it a la carte by ordering the whole thing from scratch. You're going to pay more, but you can do it. How about a house? If you buy a house, chances are that configuration, that plan, if you will, has already been predetermined before you ever even step into the house, probably before you even knew that they were building the house. It was predetermined. They build the house based on what most people want most of the time. But if you want to buy a la carte, you can get a custom built home. It's going to cost you more, but you can do it. That's what I'm talking about. Predetermined plans with the ability to add on, or if you really want to pay more because you just got to have it your way, it's going to cost a little more. Service plans. It's going to make it extremely easy to sell. If you are not already doing service plans, I would highly recommend it. I cannot wait for the results of this. I'll tell you exactly how it turns out. Hey there, it's Erik J. Olson. I wanted to let you know about my book, $1 Million Journey: How to Launch a 7-Figure Business. This is the story of what it took for me to go from freelancer with no clients, no employees, no revenue, to growing a $1 million business. It took me 8 years, and I made a lot of mistakes. And all of those mistakes, and more importantly, lessons learned, are in this book. And we have chapter takeaways, 5 to 15 takeaways that you could apply right now to your business. Check it out on Amazon, $1 Million Journey by me, Erik J. Olson.